This is the Lectric Xpress 750. It's Lectric's answer to every other competing commuter e-bike on the market. In this full review, first I'll walk you through all the components, then we'll get into some first-person riding footage, see the true performance of that 750 watt motor. Let's get to 28 though. How are you putting in a lot more effort there? 28 miles an hour. And we're using around 800 watts right now. And finally, some third-person riding footage where I'll give you the pros and cons of this electric bike. But first, let's take a closer look. Believe it or not, Lectric's first model was a commuter-style e-bike, one that looked not too different from this with a traditional diamond-style frame. The XP folding bike was not their first model. Now here we are many years later, and they've finally launched a commuter-style e-bike. It's something that a lot of people have been waiting for. Now, current pricing on this bike is $12.99, but be sure to check out the link in the description so you can see what free accessories Lectric is offering, and you can also help support the channel for free just by using that link before you make your purchase. Thank you so much for your support. If you're looking at the Xpress and comparing it to other electric bikes, you might be wondering how Lectric is able to offer these specs for this price. One is, of course, volume. They are a large e-bike company here based in the United States. In fact, they might be the largest brand. The other way they're able to drive prices down is, of course, they are a direct-to-consumer company. Make sure you check out our unboxing video. They make assembly so much easier than every other brand. And then support-wise, you have their call center based in Phoenix that I've personally seen, but they've also partnered with bike shops across the United States in case you need additional help. Also, they keep things simple. The high step is only available in black and the Step-Thru just in white. Now, with showing this bike off, it's also important to realize that there's actually 4 different models of the Xpress. First, you have the 500 with the 500 watt motor. They're calling it the base model. And then you have the 750 with the bigger motor and the bigger battery. And those 2 features increase the price $300. And beyond the motor and battery options, you also have the option for a high step, what you see here, or a Step-Thru. So yes, if you prefer, you can pick up the 750 watt version in the Step-Thru, and there are a few differences. I want to talk about them because I do think that they're important. So on the high step, you get flat, more traditional style handlebars, and you do not get an adjustable stem. Those are 2 features that come on the Step-Thru. And of course, the Step-Thru removes this top bar, which makes the bike more accessible. Now, the reason they offer both is because people have different preferences, and I'm curious what you would prefer. Do you prefer the high step, traditional diamond frame, or the Step-Thru? The high step has a standover height right here at 29 inches. That goes all the way down to 18.5 inches on the Step-Thru. The high step weighs 57 pounds. The Step-Thru just a little bit more at 58 pounds, but both bikes have a high capacity of 330 pounds. Height recommendations on the Step-Thru, riders 5'2" up to 6'3", and on the high step, riders 5'4" up to 6'4". So if you're a little bit taller, you might want to opt for the high step. I'm 6 feet tall with a 32-inch inseam, and my wife is 5'5" and she fits on both. Though if you're asking for my honest opinion, I think everyone should strongly consider the Step-Thru for, yes, the increased accessibility, but also the nice swept-back handlebars and adjustable stem. Just a few extra features that you're getting for the same price, whichever model you go with. With that, let's jump into all the components. First, we have hydraulic disc brakes paired with 180 millimeter rotors. Lectric was one of the first companies to really just put hydraulic disc brakes on all of their models, which is awesome. Tires are 27.5 by 2.1 inches wide, Chow Yang Arison with K-rubber, and Lectric fills them with slime to help prevent flats, which is a huge bonus. There's a nice reflective sidewall for increased visibility. The front wheel is attached with a through axle, which makes assembly much more easy, and it also offers more strength than your typical quick release. The front suspension fork offers 80 millimeters of travel. It's Lectric's TC80 front suspension fork, preload adjustment on the left, lockout on the right. This is what you can expect for the front suspension. They've done a nice job with their cable wrapping. Enters the frame on the left side, Note no 4-bolt pattern on the front of the head tube, so no option for Lectric's front accessories. The front headlight runs off the main battery and is plenty bright. A rear light is mounted right to the frame and it is not brake actuated. Moving to the handlebars, we have ergonomic locking grips on both sides. There's a right-hand thumb throttle, Shimano's 7-speed sys index thumb shifter, and hydraulic disc brake levers with motor cutoffs. As soon as you hit the brakes, it cuts power to the motor. And then we have Lectric's 3-button control pad on the left with their new color LCD display. Battery capacity in the top with wattage. Speed front and center. Pedal assist 0 all the way up to 5. You can turn the lights on by holding pedal assist up, indicator here. And on the bottom, odometer, trip, voltage, and current. And you can engage walk mode by holding pedal assist down. And there is a USB port tucked underneath the display as well. That's just a quick overview of the display. You'll want to reference the Lectric Xpress manual and also watch the upcoming first-person riding footage as I go through the advanced settings that you're most likely to want to change. Moving to the frame, we have Xpress 750 on the top of the top tube, Lectric branding on the side, 3 mounting points on the down tube. It's the perfect spot for mounting the best water bottle cage on the market. You can pick one up at shop.ebikeescape.com. Make sure you go with the Sidewinder though, because it will give you more room for a large water bottle. Next, the integrated battery keyhole on the left. Turn it to the left will release the battery, and then there is a button on here which will release it fully. With the Xpress 750, you get a 48-volt 14 amp hour battery, and the battery is UL 2271 certified. The entire bike's electronics are UL 2849, and for additional safekeeping, you can put your Lectric battery in a battery bag, also available at shop.ebikeescape.com. It's waterproof and flame resistant, and batteries are expensive to replace, so it's perfect if you plan to travel with your electric bike. There's a battery indicator on the end here, and the charge port is on this side. It's the same plug whether the battery is in the bike or you're charging it perhaps inside. And the bike comes with a 2 amp charger. To put the battery back in, locate the terminals, put that in first, and snap into place. For pedals, we have Lectric's quick release pedals. Again, makes assembly easy, and they also offer more grip than most. Be careful with the shins though. There's a rear mounted kickstand, and you get Lectric's sleek style seat. If you want to add comfort to this electric bike, you may want to consider a suspension seat post, but you also could swap out the saddle if you wanted to as well. Rear hydraulic disc brake, a torque arm to keep the wheel where it's supposed to be. Here's where it gets interesting. Lectric's 750 watt motor, it's noticeably bigger than the 500 watt motor, and it's peaking at 1,310 watts, and that motor is putting out 85 newton meters of torque. Can't wait to see how it does up our hill climb test. But even more, something you just don't see at this price point, the motor is engaged with a torque sensor. Stay tuned for the first-person riding footage. Gearing in the rear is 11 to 28 teeth. They're using a Shimano tourney derailleur, not unexpected at this price point. And up front is a 46-tooth front chainring, dual-sided. And they also include a chainstay protector. There's a motor cable disconnect on the other side. All right, now that you know about all the components on the Xpress 750, let's see how the bike performs and get into some first-person riding footage. Let's get started, and I have a lot to talk about. So right now, stock settings, except for the fact that I changed it from Class 2 for a top speed of 20 miles per hour to Class 3, so we should hit 28 miles per hour. As usual, our first test will be throttle only. I have it in pedal assist level 5. Let's see how this 750 watt nominal, 1,310 watt peak motor performs. 3, 2, 1, throttle only. Decent amount of takeoff, almost immediately to 1,250 watts according to the display, and there's 20 miles an hour. So very fast to accelerate. Now I mentioned that I was in pedal assist level 5. That's because in pedal assist level 1 with throttle only, you only get to about 9 miles an hour. That's by design, at least with the stock settings, so stay tuned. But this is more gentle takeoff. I'm only using 82 watts right now, and it certainly doesn't peak that much higher when you first hit the throttle. And that's going to be the case in pedal assist level 1 or 2. 2 will go to 15 miles an hour, and then the motor will cut off. And then pedal assist level 3 with throttle only, you can get to 20 miles per hour. Now, one of the magical things about this electric bike is that it is, yes, a torque sensor, which means the more power that I put into the pedals, the more power I get out from the motor. That's compared to a cadence sensor, which simply gives me motor power as long as my legs are spinning. More of an on-off switch experience. All right, first gear, pedal assist level 1, motor very responsive, and just giving me a little bit of power. I saw 150 watts and now it's down to about 50 watts. And again, it's going to cut off at 9 miles an hour. I would shift up to maybe second gear and I could put in more pedal effort and I will go a little bit faster, but I'm not going to get more power from the motor. You'll notice that in the higher pedal assist levels though, as we'll see in a second. All right, pedal assist level 2. I'll go in third gear. Nice leisurely cadence, cruising at 13 miles an hour. Using about 100 watts. And yes, if I put in just a little bit more power, we're going to hit that 15 mile per hour mark. Again, that's the cutoff for pedal assist level 1 and 2. Let's go into pedal assist level 3 though. That's where you get access to up to 28 miles per hour. I shifted up to fourth gear. Again, nice and easy, 17 miles an hour. If I put in more pedal effort though, doesn't take a whole lot. And we're hitting 20 miles an hour, pulling about 270 watts. All right, pedal assist level 4, fourth gear. I'm going to shift up to fifth gear. Now, what's great, if you're torn between a bike with a cadence sensor or a torque sensor, the nice thing about this bike is it gives you a decent amount of power. I'm cruising at 19 miles an hour and not putting in a ton of effort. But of course, if I wanted to, and I wanted to go faster, more pedal effort equals higher speed. Already hitting 25. We're not even in the highest pedal assist level yet. All right, here we go. Pedal assist level 5. Let's see what the cruising speed is. The acceleration is very good, we'll put it that way on this bike. Immediately felt it, especially starting from a stop. I'm going to shift up to sixth gear. So 20 miles an hour, 21 miles an hour, gentle cadence, and just putting more leg pressure on. And I wouldn't even say it's a ton, and we do have some wind coming at us. 23 miles an hour. All right, let's get to 28 though. All right, putting in a lot more effort there. 28 miles an hour. And we're using around 800 watts right now. All right, let's do a brake test at this small tree here. Being careful not to lock up the rear tire too much. Stopping power really good. Couldn't ask for more on such an affordable electric bike. All right, I said we were gonna talk about some other settings here. Let's get into that. I'm going to put a giant chart on the screen because there's a bunch of different combinations that you can pick. So P22 is going to change whether or not pedal assist levels 1 and 2 are limited to 9 and 15 miles per hour respectively. So you can adjust that if you want. That impacts, of course, the throttle as demonstrated, as well as the pedal assist. But perhaps more interestingly is P11. I'm gonna change that to 1. This is a power multiplier. And so now it should be even easier for me to hit higher speeds. And I feel like this motor is already very capable. So I'm kind of curious how it feels with the multiplier on with the 750 watt version. And just for good measure, I'm also going to change the P22 setting to 1. So we're no longer limited on the speed and pedal assist level 1 as well. I think that'll better help demonstrate the multiplier. Now on the 500 watt version, there was a difference, but it was a slight difference, maybe 1 or 2 miles per hour. All right, pedal assist level 1 with the multiplier turned on, second gear, and cruising at 10 miles an hour, very easy. Now I could put in a little bit more power, and even in pedal assist level 1, we're gonna get up to 14, 15 miles an hour. Let's shift up to third gear. All right, pedal assist level 2, I'm going to shift up to fourth gear. We're already creeping up the speed, hitting about 15 miles an hour. And if I put in a little bit more effort, 16, 17. All right, pedal assist level 3. Let's go into 5th gear. All right, 18 miles an hour. I think we're going to hit 20. And 6th gear. And a little bit more power, not a ton of more power from my legs. I'm gonna hit 23. All right, pedal assist level 4. And now the cruising speed is 21, 22 miles an hour. And a little bit more power, 23, 24. All right, pedal assist level 5. Let's see what we get now. So I'm going just slightly faster. Let's go into 7th gear than I did when the multiplier was turned off. There's 25 miles an hour. I mean, perfect example of the difference between the two. I am just nice and easy, spinning my legs, and we're going 24, 23 miles an hour, and a little bit more power from my legs. And it does feel easier to hit the 28 mile per hour mark. So the multiplier is there if you want it. Gearing wise, I think they did an excellent job. I am not wanting extra gears. I am not spinning my legs too fast at class 3 speeds. So nice job, Lectric. One neat feature on the Lectric e-bikes is cruise control. Not a lot of people know about it, but if I hold the throttle and then pedal assist level down, now I see cruise on the screen. It's going to hold me at 15 miles an hour or 16. And you do need to be going at least 8 miles an hour. And of course, cruise control can be disabled by hitting your brakes. All right, with that, let's see how this bike performs up our hill climb test. All right, let's see how a $12.99 e-bike can climb this giant hill. The GoPro makes it look so much smaller than it is. So I'll put up a picture as well as the specs of the hill. Now I know many of you watching are probably trying to figure out, do you want to buy the 500 or the base model or the upgraded 750 that I'm on now? We'll have a full comparison video out, so stay tuned for that. We'll see what the minimum speed is here though. Going down to 18, 17, using over 1200 watts, 16, and back up to 17, 18 miles an hour. So there's no question that the bike can handle large hills. Went down to 16 for just a second, but I want to show off how the torque sensor does climbing this hill while pedaling. Okay, here we go, pedal assist level 1, and I'm going to shift all the way down. Now the experience with a torque sensor electric bike, sometimes in this hill, is not great. We'll see how the 750 watt version performs. First gear, and yes, I still have the multiplier on so we can get the maximum amount of power out of the bike. Pedal assist level 1, 6 miles an hour, still a pretty significant workout. Let's go into pedal assist level 2. I felt a huge jump there, tons of relief, and this is totally doable. First gear, just spinning my legs, nice and easy. And that's kind of the magic with the Express. It's the same experience that I had on the base model. The torque sensor, in my opinion, is just very well tuned. Let's go to pedal assist level 3. I feel even more power, and I can feel while I'm pedaling, just maybe barely putting a little bit more effort, I'm getting more power from the motor. It wants to help me. I'm gonna shift up into third gear, and we're using about 600 watts, cruising at 10. Let's go into pedal assist level 4, and just a little bit more on my legs. I wouldn't even say I'd be winded going up this hill maybe 10 times in pedal assist level 4, third gear. Let's go into pedal assist level 5. And yeah, now we're hitting over 1,000 watts, and I could shift up even more, maybe even to fourth gear and fifth gear. So what I like about it is, yes, you can go in pedal assist level 1, you can put it in a hard gear, you can get your workout in if that's what you're looking for, but you still want the natural riding experience. This bike still is tuned in a way that it can climb hills with ease if you wanted to. All right, with that, let's get into some third-person riding footage. I'll give you my concluding thoughts on the Lectric Xpress 750. The Xpress 750 is stepping into a crowded market of commuter e-bikes. So how did Lectric manage to make it stand out from the pack? For starters, it's the motor. This beast peaks at over 1,300 watts, and as shown in our hill climb test, it's class leading at the $1,300 price point. There are plenty of pricier bikes that don't even come close to this level of performance. Then there's the torque sensor. It's designed to deliver that power without requiring much effort, so longtime Lectric fans won't be disappointed. If you're looking for a more active ride, just switch it down to pedal assist level 1 for more of a workout. Torque sensors at this price point are exceedingly rare, and when you pair this with the Xpress 500, these bikes are kind of like unicorns in their category. The riding experience is excellent, and the new color LCD display allows for customization to match your preferences. While the Xpress 750 doesn't offer multiple sizes, both the high step and step-through models are versatile enough for most riders, and if you are on the shorter end, Lectric has you covered with their smaller XP 3.0 and XP Lite models. The battery is average in size, providing up to 60 miles of range. That's of course assuming you're in pedal assist level 1 and providing plenty of your own power. The hydraulic disc brakes offer reliable stopping power even at higher speeds. Lectric's easy assembly process is another key factor, especially when buying a direct-to-consumer e-bike. And when it comes to customer service, I continue to see examples of positive experiences within Facebook groups. If you know Facebook groups, you know it's usually where people go to vent, not praise, so that's saying something. Now let's dive into the key considerations. At the time of recording, fenders and a rear rack aren't included. Check the description for current included accessories. I get that this helps keep the price so competitive, but many riders will want these features even if they don't ride in the rain or need to haul cargo, but people just like to know they're there, and I understand that. If you need them though, budget an extra $99 and plan for some DIY installation. There's also no 4-bolt pattern for mounting a front rack or basket, so if maximizing storage is your goal, keep that in mind. The drivetrain, including the derailleur and shifter, is fine for recreational riding, but at this price we sometimes see brands offering Shimano Altus and a trigger shifter, so that's worth noting. Some will understandably find the saddle firm, but Lectric is including their oversized seat and suspension seat post at the time of recording, which is a nice bonus. And after riding both the Xpress 500 and 750, I did notice the 750 is louder, understandable with a more powerful motor, but worth mentioning. I'll be doing a full comparison between the 500 and 750 soon, so be sure to subscribe for that. And of course, we have reviews on all Lectric models. If any of our videos have helped you with your purchase decision, I'd appreciate it if you use our link down in the description before making your purchase. Thank you so much for your support. It's clear that the Xpress 750 is going to be a popular choice. Lectric has packed a lot into this e-bike, and if you're looking for a powerful motor, solid pricing, and a rare torque sensor in this category, the Xpress 750 is hard to beat. I'll be hanging out in the comments section, so feel free to ask any questions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.